What's going on, guys? OneEyedBandit back again with yet another video talking about more Dragon Ball FighterZ, and today I have another tier list for you guys, but this time specifically with just the DLC characters. And when you really get to looking at the character list all the way, it's crazy that we only started out with a base of 24 characters, right? And that's just insane to me, because this is literally all we had to choose from when the game very first came out. And then you look at the DLC list and you're like, wow, I almost forgot Broly was a DLC character. And it's like, as long as Bardock has been there as well, you just kind of forget some of these characters were DLC characters, especially 17 characters that people just completely forgot about or don't care about because they're just not that good. So it's just insane to me that we only have this many DLC characters, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 DLC characters in total. And I think we can properly make a tier list out of these characters, because it's been an interesting season 1 and 2, to say the least, now that we have all of these characters from both seasons. The thing about it though is it's a clear winner of who actually has won for this DLC list, right? And I think we should start it off with obviously GT Goku. You know, the minute this character came out, people started putting him on their team. His assist was instantly, people were just like, it's an amazing assist. It keeps people out of the sky and you can lock them down by yourself on the ground. And he's just there as a shield basically with his assist. On top of that, his mix-up potential by himself and by himself alone is ridiculous. You have to worry about so many things when it comes to this character when he starts to mix you up, and then you add assist onto that, whether it be Kid Buu assist or even Gotenks assist. It just gets ridiculous. This character was just the clear winner out of all the DLC we got. And it's insane to say that even Bardock, who I will put at S as well, and it's crazy that these two will be the only two at S, because of how good they were when they first came out. And I'm not even going to say Bardock was that good when he first came out, because people literally were like, this character isn't that good. When Bardock first came out, I know a lot of you don't remember because of how good he's been up until this point in the game. People were saying this character was pretty bad, and that's just insane to think about, seeing as he's been running the game for however long. His neutral is just amazing. The space he can control with his what's the freaking move called, with his I always forget the move. I keep wanting to call it Riot Javelin, but I know it's not. But you guys know the move I'm talking about. It can control airspace, it can control the neutral, it goes pretty far. Even the EX version of his move just kind of flies to the other side of the map. So being this game a very neutral heavy game, Bardock was just instantly starting to be loved by so many people because he could control the neutral so well. So I mean, put these two together, a character that can control the neutral on the ground and a little bit in the air as well, plus this character's assist, GT Goku's, you have a great team already on your hands. And then again, Bardock's real mix-up potential comes when you again put Kid Buu or Gotenks on the same team. A lot of people are actually starting to drop Bardock these days because certain things just aren't working out as well as when you have GT Goku and Kid Buu and somebody else on the team, right? Bardock, the Goichi team, Goichi is good at that team because he's Goichi, but not many people can run that team because they run into too many problems with that team. So these two definitely S tier, and most likely the only characters that I will put up there. And I even want to make an A+ tier, but I'm not going to, because I know Broly belongs right here where he is. Broly is definitely A tier as hell. Even he's A+ on the out of every single body when you put him on the tier list with everybody else. But when it comes to DLC, he's A tier. And mainly for the same reasons that he's A plus tier on the normal deal, on the normal list with every other character, is because his armor's fantastic, but he can be fuzzied. He's really big, and you have to look out for so many things when it comes to this character. Again, yes, the armor's great. Yes, his ki blasts are freaking amazing, but he's just slow. He doesn't necessarily get that pressure that most characters can get when they get a hard knockdown, right? Again, he doesn't really have that real good hard knockdown either. Obviously, he has a couple of grappling moves in there, and he can do so much as such a big character and deal out so much damage, but it's very situational. And it takes a decent amount to learn this Broly, right? This Broly is pretty good. So I think he definitely deserves to be upper tier on this list. I'm going to go with the bases. Again, I'm going to put base Vegeta in A tier as well. Again, I'm not going to put any other character in S tier because these two guys here, like again, Bardock, when he first came out, I mean, people called him bad, but we all know where he would be and where he is now. He's just really good. His level 3 at the time was very reminiscent to Spirit Bomb from GT Goku, and that mix-up is very, very dangerous, especially when it comes to like him being in the corner, because it's literally just a high-low mix-up, 50-50, and Bardock actually had that. But base Vegeta, on the other hand, when he first came out, he was another character that people were like, yo, this character is gonna be really, really good. And for sure, I think it was wild. Not too many people explored him enough. People were actually calling him like the new Bardock when he came out. And I think more now since Sonic Fox actually beat Goichi with base Vegeta during the Japan saga, I think more people are starting to realize this character deserves to be higher up on the tier list altogether. Sonic Fox puts him in S tier, which is just crazy because I have him at just A plus, but when it comes out of all the DLCs, I have him in A. But this character is really, really good. I could see why he would be S tier for a lot of different reasons. He does control the neutral pretty well, but his move that's like Bardock's, his lariat, that's what it's called, the lariat. His lariat, but with his feet, I don't know what it's called for base Vegeta, but it's really good, controls the neutral again, just like Bardock's, but his isn't very plus. You don't want to just throw that out there without an assist behind it, or even without a vanish and risking, that reflect that'll happen on the other side. But again, this character had like a really good level 3 Oki when he first came out. He has decent mix-up from his teleport options. When it comes like paired with Kid Buu, most characters are gonna be amazing with Kid Buu. You put Kid Buu's assist with any of these characters on the list, on the roster, and you're gonna have a decent mix-up potential. So I think his assist is very strong, or his move set is very strong in that aspect when it comes paired with Kid Buu. But as he stands alone, I have him at A tier. His ki blasts are pretty good. Very quick, very reminiscent to me of Blue Goku's ki blast, but maybe a little bit better. This character is really, really good. Base Goku, I'm gonna have him in A2, and the only reason I might be putting him here is because of Wawa. Actually, I'm gonna have him at B because he's not as good as base Vegeta, right? He needs a hard knockdown or something after certain situations that he just doesn't get. I wish it was easier to combo into a Spirit Bomb. Obviously, you can put on certain characters like Gogeta, Gohan, Super Saiyan Goku, Beerus. There's lots of characters that allow you to combo into his Spirit Bomb, or DHC into it rather. And yes, that's good and all for the damage, but to have such a powerful move and need that crutch of a certain other character is just kind of ridiculous. So he just needs something else. Better Oki on his level 1 super maybe, because he's like the only character that doesn't necessarily get like amazing Oki off of any of his supers. and I would definitely rather him get like a knockdown or something of that sort. But yeah, so you know what, I actually am gonna do it, right? I'm going to give A plus A, B, and we'll have C for shits and giggles. But yeah, I'll put base Goku at A, definitely. Vegito, another one of those characters, very hard to tell if I should put him in A plus or A. A plus because his legs are amazing. A because he kind of works better alone, which is weird because this is a character that doesn't have like a hard knockdown really. He just has his throws, which, you know, switches sides and you need to waste a bar a lot, and character's great for damage and stuff like that, builds bar amazingly. But either or, but it doesn't really matter if he goes in A plus or A, because I just think the character is good in its own right. And that's not to say that A plus or A is like very far off from each other, right? You know, it's just missing a little bit of things. And people I know will definitely attack me whether I put him in either or slot, because they may feel like Vegito is S for all I know. But I'm gonna put him in A. Jiren is staying in you know, I'm not even gonna talk about Jiren yet, right? Cooler, very slept on character. He's an A for me. He has a broken 3H, right? His 3H is so good and people don't really acknowledge it. This character can go through beams literally, and I don't know why people don't play this character more. Yes, he's a bigger character, and people are starting to realize big characters are tough to play, obviously, because they can be fuzzy. But with the new meta going around, it's possible to fuzzy everybody on the cast. Even the smallest character in the game, GT Goku, can be fuzzied. But for bigger characters, it's harder because they can be fuzzied by the universal fuzzy, then fuzzied regular, and then like they can be triple fuzzied. And for a big character like Cooler or even Broly, it just sucks. It just sucks to play that. So again, I just have him in A because I think he's slept on, and he's not bad at all. But I don't think enough people wanted to explore him to that extent. He has very long reach on his normals. He's pretty good. So 17, B for me. 17, another one of those characters when he first came out, people were calling, oh, this character's S tier, he's amazing, he's amazing. And sadly, that just wasn't the case. He just falls short so much. You have a character like Gogeta who has Rekkas, and his Rekkas are all true, even the overhead portion of it, which 17 has Rekkas, and all of his Rekkas, they're not all true. His overhead, every bit of his Rekka is true except for the overhead. It can be reflected and it can be 2H, which kind of sucks. If you put a character out like Gogeta, and it kind of makes 17 seem like dog crap. Like his whole game plan is his Rekkas, so why give him something that's like super fake around his whole move set, right? Like it just doesn't quite make sense. It doesn't quite add up. And I wanted to play this character so bad. He's definitely one of those characters that was like, yo, I want to play this character because he's one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball. But Bardock is he's my favorite character of Dragon Ball Z. So it just so happened he was good, and so I put him on my team. And I mean, he's just good. Like there was nothing I can do about it. I was gonna play Bardock whether he was bad or not, just become the best Bardock I could be, and it just so happened he was good. 17, on the other hand, yes, he's a favorite character of mine, but I'm not gonna put myself through the ridiculousness of trying to learn a character that just can't quite do it. So it's almost like, what's the point? He has way too many faults to him, even though he's cool as hell. He just doesn't quite hit the mark. Zamasu, A plus to me. He is a character that is very hard to learn, but is when you actually learn him, you get the best reward. He has probably the best footsies in the game. His buttons are so long. Like the amount that you can like bait people because of your staggers is ridiculous. He can hit one button, back up a little bit, wait for you to hit a button, and then hit you with this long normal because your normal won't reach him, or your normal is just too slow to reach him. It's ridiculous. And the fact that they made his command grab normals like from his actual auto combo like a true command grab, it's again another one of those things that's just insane. Again, when you actually learn and put the time into this character, he can be really, really good. And I think a lot of people need to test out this character and see what they can actually do with him. Even Sonic Fox won Evo with this character, and I mean, come on, the character, not many people play him. Maybe it's because he is hard to use, but he deserves a little bit more love. Videl, I have her an A because her mix-up potential is actually pretty damn good. She has crazy mix-up potential when paired with the right assist, of course. Assists that have very high hit stun and can kind of keep the opponent trapped. And she just kind of keeps you guessing over and over and over again. If you don't know when to hit a button or when to hit that reflect, she's going to be back on you, and you are just going to have a hard time trying to guess where she is going to be. So again, another one of those characters that people called high tier the minute she came out. And then of course she falls off very hard a lot of times because of her reflect. Even her 2M is pretty bad. It like literally isn't a true string if you throw her 2M out there. She could use a decent amount of work, but she's still pretty good. She's still definitely pretty good. Jun Inba, I just feel bad putting him in A, but I do think he is A because I feel like he's so unexplored. People, the minute this character came out, people were just calling him trash for too many different reasons. I think this character is pretty good because he has an auto combo that is very similar to Bardock's, right? And yet people don't say, oh, you're just a masher with, you know, Jun Inba, even though their auto combos are very similar. It brings the characters or your enemy back down to the ground, and it's really good. His green orb thing, pretty good. Oki, I might put him back on my team, I'm not even gonna lie, but it's just weird how so many people just called him trash right at the very beginning, the minute he came out. Yes, his jump or stand heavy yes, his air heavy is very bad, but there's many other good things about this character, and like I said, I think he needs to be way more explored than he was. When the patch comes, I feel like they're gonna be pretty good to Jun Inba. It always sucks to drop a character because, I mean, look how many characters they dropped, and not all of them quite made the cut for being very good. It's just crazy that they really only dropped 2 very, very good characters since the DLC came out, right? And again, there's 12 of these bad boys, or what did I say, 14, 12, there's 12 of these bad boys. That's just, or was it 14? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's 14 of these bad boys, and they only dropped 2 very, very good characters. The rest were just good. So I think Jun Inba just needs to be shown a little bit more love by people who can really truly explore him, because I think he has some really good stuff when it comes to him. Gogeta, also A. As you can already tell, most characters are going in A. Gogeta, and screw it, I'll start it off with Broly 2. Both of these characters, to me, decently underwhelming, and I'm very disappointed to say that because I wanted both of these characters to be damn near broken. I wanted them to be S tier because I wanted more variety. Already this brings more variety if they're both up here, and so many people are playing these two characters alongside these two characters, or more. Like it just brings way more variety the minute that you add two more extra strong characters to the game. I just wanted to see more within tournament, because it's just ridiculous how much you see this little guy, Kid Buu, you know, Bardock. You know who you're gonna see when you watch a tournament, especially at the highest level. Gogeta has very good stuff when it comes to the right assist, and notice how I say that. It's like you need good assist to be very good with this character. His buttons are slow. Alongside, you know, Dragon Ball Super Broly, they just decided to take two of the strongest characters and just make them pretty damn slow. Like, I don't know why they made these characters buttons so slow. Gogeta has a really good DP though, hits on both sides. A one button beam, which is always good, but has very bad recovery. Again, can be fuzzied. I don't think I really need to say that anymore, because again, every character can be fuzzy, but you know, taller characters can just be fuzzied so many times in a row. It's just kind of ridiculous. But again, it was just an underwhelming release for these two, because even though I do play Gogeta and I love him being on my team, he just doesn't quite have enough. Like I said, his buttons are just so slow. His buttons are so slow. The triple overhead is amazing. He has a lot of good stuff, so many supers, but again, just doesn't quite hit the mark. Probably he just, I don't know what he could use, what else he could use, but could definitely be better. Dragon Ball Super Broly, he's a command grabber, he's a grappler style character, yet his grapples are just slow. Like, why give us this when you can have armor and a fast command grab with DBZ Broly? DBS Broly is he's just too slow. But I'll have him in A as the time stands right now, because he's still too early to say anything else about him. But you know, I'm tempted to even put him in B, but just to appease a couple of you, I'm gonna leave him in A. And to me, Jiren is just C tier, because he's just basic. Jiren literally is just basic. You basically know his game plan the minute he gets into the stage. He's gonna put you in a couple of normal block strings, because that's all he can really do. Try to mix you up, of course, with the right assist, and then all you really have to do is watch out for his one button command grab that they made pretty slow. There's no point in like running this character and saying I'm gonna be good with this character, because he's just too basic. He's just way too straightforward to me. Even he has counters, but the counters lead to literally nothing. You can get the best read in the world with the counter, but you have to either A, vanish, spin the bar, and not gain that bar back, and possibly get a super off that will be scaled, or get the counter and completely waste your bar, your 3 bars or your 1 bar, by getting a super. And of course, it doesn't give like a knockdown if you don't have any bar at all or anything. So his counters, I would mainly say, need the most work. But for them to give us a character like this, and he's just so straightforward and basic, I don't know. But all in all, this is my DLC tier list. I think it's pretty good. A lot of you guys might not agree with it, but if you do, let me know down in the comment section below. What would you change and why? Who would you put where? Just let me know if you agree or disagree, pretty much. But anyways, guys, that's basically it for my DLC tier list. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please remember that God and anime are always on your side. That's all I got for y'all. Peace out.